I bring out the crazy in people. This older lady in a wheelchair sitting there, and she's like, "Excuse me, sir." She's like, "Can you move me to the hot sun?" And this guy with a badge, "Hey, here's her food. I don't work here." He says, "I know, and you pushed her over there." And I was like, I already got in trouble, and I haven't even been here for 5 minutes. Right now, I can already smell the aromas, and it smells really, really, really delicious. Almost like, when you open up the coffee bag for the first time, or if you grind your coffee. Hey guys, welcome to my show. My name is Joe and I live in Tampa, Florida. I have a passion for people and craft beer, and I'm putting them together on Bearded Joe's Beer Reviews. I've rated hundreds of beers on Brewing and Untapped, so I put my beers I rate through a 4-point inspection. 1, visual representation of the label and color of the beer. 2, aromatics. 3, taste. And 4, just your overall enjoyment. Today, we're going to review Hawaiian Lion by Big Top Brewing Company. They're out of Sarasota, Florida. So this beer comes in at 7.5% alcohol content. It's a coffee porter with coconut. So like you're gonna definitely taste the roasted coffee, the dark flavors of a porter, with maybe a taste of coconut, which kind of gives it almost like a summery type of flavor. Porters are considered, winter beers. So the label of the beer really stands out to me. It has a lion on it. I love lions. Lions are actually one of my favorite animals. I've actually wanted a tattoo of a lion and a lamb somewhere on my body. I don't know where yet. So lions always just the animal stands out. So if you look at this, the blue eyes on this lion, and it just looks like his hair is like on fire, almost. Like it's just this lion's like full of electricity, ready to almost like pounce. The blue eyes to me really stand out with the Hawaiian um, lion font. It just really stands out. It's a really cool label. And then as you turn the bottle, or I guess as you turn the can, I'm sorry, the lion's hair turns almost bluish. Again, the same font. So I really like this label. I love lions, and that's one of the reasons why I got it. I'm a geek on labels. So tell me what you guys think in the comments below. Tell me what you think of the lion, the artwork of this, and yeah, let's crack this open and see how it tastes. So I'm really working on the pour since I have a camera. Every time I look up, I get distracted, which happens a lot for me. I get distracted easy, if you guys can't tell. So it pours really nice, especially if since I did it right. It pours really nice. Has a good about a half an inch of a head on it. It's kind of fizzling down now, um, but even from like my vantage point right now, I can already smell the aromas that are coming off this beer, and it smells really, really, really delicious. Yeah, you can definitely smell the darkness, the coffee, almost like when you open up the coffee bag for the first time, or if you grind your coffee, that first grind after it grinds and you open up the lid to the grinder. That's what it smells like. So almost like a first pour in the morning. So the smell's really good. Definitely tastes. I can taste the coconut. It's not a huge. Uh, the flavor's great. Don't get me wrong. but it's not a huge coconut flavor. There are hints of the coconut, hints of um, the coffee flavor, uh, and the roast to it, but overall, it's not overpowering like some of the other beers. And so it's one of those like beers that you can go get and drink on a regular basis, not something that you like buy once and sip on for um like a couple hours. So the taste I think is really good. Also, if you've had this beer, people in Florida or people who've had this beer from out of state, chime in below. Let me know what you think of this beer. Big Top is a great brewing company. They've been around for quite a while. I actually got this beer at Gaspars. It's located in Tampa, Temple Terrace area. It's one of the closest bars, not bars. Well, actually, it is a bar, but one of the closest places near me. So I go here quite a bit. They have a huge liquor selection. Their beer selection is decent. Okay. It's like in a beer cave, it's real cold. So if you're like me and it takes you 20, 30 minutes to, decide on a beer, eh, it's in the winter, especially, it's not that good. You have glasses, you come out, it's all foggy. It takes you a minute to get your bearings. Um, but it is a cool place. So if you see it, you go buy it. I recommend it. Their restaurant bar is even kind of cooler. So they have like karaoke's and things like that. Um, so kind of go into some stories. Going solo today. Uh, Sticking with the theme of past several episodes, when Joey said, "Joe, you bring out the crazy in people." Um, just the other day, this last week's been kind of hectic for me. I My daughter hit her head last weekend on the playground. So she was like, "Oh, it hurts," but she shook it off and she was fine. Well, that was on a Saturday. Sunday, we go to church, uh, you know, do all that kind of stuff, have fun during the day. And then that night, she tells us that she still has a headache from that injury. Um, and she's been kind of dizzy. So Monday, I take her to urgent care. They tell us she passed all her, whatever. Uh, but to go get it checked out at the children's ER, just in case. So that's kind of the backstory. So I get there and, we kind of have to park in the parking garage, walk to it. And this older lady in a wheelchair is sitting there and she's like, "Excuse me, sir." She's like, "Can you move me to the hot sun?" It was a chilly day here in Florida. Um, and I was like, "Yeah, sure, no problem." So I go and I start to push her, and then I realize her brakes are locked, or one of them was. And I'm like, "Ma'am, I think your brakes are locked." And she was like, "So?" I was like, "Well, you kind of make it easier on me to push you." And so she unlocked her brakes. And so I pushed her uh, to the sun, and she says thank you. And so I'm like, "Yeah, no problem." And so I'm walking back, and this guy with a badge, he has like, like the official "I work here at this hospital" badge, uh, comes up and she's like, "Hey, here's her food," and he like tries to hand me this bag of food. I'm like, "Oh no, sir, sorry, I don't work here." And he looks at me. He's like, "I know. Here's her food." And I'm like, I don't work here." And he says, "I know. And you pushed her over there. Her cab is supposed to come here, not over there." And I'm like, "Oh, I'm sorry." I was like, "She just acts like she needed help." He was really upset with me, and I was like, "I already got in trouble, and I haven't even been here for 5 minutes." And when I said I'm sorry, he was like, "Sure." And my daughter later told me he was asking her, "Why is that guy pushing her over there?" And my daughter said, "Well, she asked him to. She was cold." So he was pretty ticked off at me. And that's what I do. I bring out the crazy in people. So And kind of going back to this beer, it's good. I really like it. The label's awesome. Um, just because the lion, I'm a big lion fan. The colors on it are great. Taste is very, very pleasing. It's not, again, overly powerful. So I'm gonna give it a 6. I think it's a good beer. It's a good one that a lot of you would enjoy, especially if you're not beer drinkers and you just want um, a flavorful dark beer, or even like one of those stepping stones. I think this would be great. It meets those standards. So it's from Big Top Brewing out of Sarasota, and it's called Hawaiian Lion. So sold at multiple liquor stores here in Florida. I'm sure they sell it outside as well at some states. You just have to go check out um, their website and their distribution. And I got this again at Gaspars. So go check them out too. Tell them Bearded Joe's Beer Review sent you. That would really help me out as well. I just want to thank you guys for tuning into this podcast, YouTube video, however you're watching or listening. If you're watching on YouTube, please comment below. Tell me what you think. Tell me if I missed anything. Or if you want a beer reviewed, let me know that as well. I would love suggestions of beers to try. Even if I've had the beer before, I can review it. So let me know. Also, make sure you subscribe, hit the notification bell so you can stay on top of all the latest videos. That helps me out a lot. If you're listening to it on a podcast, make sure you subscribe. If you're on iTunes, like leave a 5-star review. That helps me. Leave, comment. Again, that just helps all the analytics. Appreciate if you do both those. Also, um, Patreon. Go to patreon.com, Patreon. Search for Bearded Joe's Beer Reviews, and you can support the show. You can do it for as little as $5 a month. There are a lot of cool perks on there for subscribing. Eventually, I'm going to get some beer glasses similar to this that has my logo on it. Check out the other perks on there. You could win a trip. So I would definitely appreciate it. So, friends, as always, I like to say alcohol is meant to be a gift to enjoy and not as an escape. So make sure you drink responsibly, friends. And until next time, cheers.